Okay, hey girls. Alright, or ladies, sorry. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how to get your wraps to fit your toes. So, as you can see, I already did one set. So there is a way to do it. Alright, so basically you want to take your wraps and you want to find out which ones would actually fit the biggest toe first. So you go, So you go ahead and you measure as best as you can. Okay, so you find out which one would actually fit. So as you can see, the biggest one doesn't always fit your toe. So you kind of go around and find out which one fits. So it'd be this one right here that would probably fit this big toe. I might be able to get this one to fit without causing too much or any overlap. So what I do, I've had my little heater running for a while, so I go ahead and I take the wrap that I've chosen, which is this big one here. Oops, sorry, this big one here. And I've already have it cut in half, as you can see. Okay, so what I do is whenever I remove the wrap, I'm very careful to make sure I don't touch it with my fingers, because that actually puts oil underneath these. And the oil actually causes that lift that you see when when your nails are done and you wait a couple hours, all of a sudden you start seeing some sort of little lifts. Usually that's because you've touched your nails after cleaning them, or you have touched the wrap with your fingers. That oil, that sweat, or anything like that that could possibly be on your fingers is what causes them to not to stick well. So what you do is you take it like this, take it from the corner, and you pull it back. When you have it like that, you can push down to make it stick to your little one thing. So you have it like that. Okay. Then, I go ahead and I take the wrap and I set it down very carefully, bending this forward so that it's nice and as straight as I possibly can get it. And once it's nice and straight, I smooth it out from the inside outwards. And what that does is that helps to stop any kind of bubbles from forming on the very center. And what I commonly do is I use my heater to heat up. Now, don't do this with the children, okay? This is one thing you'd never do with your kids. You never put this heater near their fingers or toes. It is really hot, but as soon as I see it start to bend, I know that I can go ahead and start pushing down. Oops, sorry. And start actually smoothing it out. Okay. So as you can see, I want to make sure that it stays nice and warm as I smooth it out on my toes as much as I can, so that it's bendable and pliable. Because once it starts to get cold, you won't be able to do this. So you bend it in all the way over like this, so you could stretch it a little bit over the nail. Okay, and you take this, kind of smooth it out all the way around. Make sure. Now don't do it like this, because then you'll end up stabbing into it. You don't want to. You kind of want to use that flat part, kind of smooth it around. Hi, baby girl. Oops, sorry. Okay. And once you're done doing that, you can move it away from the heater, because you don't want the heater to continue to heat it up, because you want it to cool a little bit now, so that it'll harden, because it's easier to file it off if it's hardened. But do check the sides. See, if you see, let's see if I can get this to focus a little better. See how it's lifted up a little bit on that corner there? So you take your, from here, just run it across a couple times. And if you have to, use the heater to make it more pliable again, so that you can make it nice and smoothed out. See? It makes it a little easier to smooth it out. What you don't want to do is run your finger this way, because that'll put all that stuff on the bottom of your thumb underneath the wrap. So you don't want to go like that, because then you'll get all that oil and all that sweat underneath the wrap, which causes lifting again. So you always want to go from the center outwards. That way you're not shoving anything underneath the wrap. And then you just slowly file off the excess. Make sure you get it all. Goes right away. And there you have it. Now, you could take your crystal, or even the kit comes with a square thing like this. This is what you use to file the excess off. I like to use this thing because it actually tends to get a little more, of it than the other thing does. And it's a little quicker because it's tougher than the other thing. But either one works just fine. It's just a preference type deal. So there's the big toe. The big toe is the easiest one to do. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do that tiny, itty bitty, annoying little toe that you think you can't put anything on, because there's obviously not any big piece, or small enough piece that would fit on it. And you only have these big pieces left after you do your fingernails. So I'll show you what to do with that. So generally your kits come like this, with two little sticks. This is actually the smoother that you're supposed to use. I'm lazy. I don't like having to switch from one to the other, so I generally use this one. But do use this one if you don't want to be lazy and you just want to go ahead and get it smoothed out properly. This is the one you use. Hi, Victoria. Oh my goodness, my child. See how it's got this nice rubber bend ability. So whenever you are smoothing it out, you're not going to hurt the wrap at all, because it bends with it. See? So you don't have to worry about actually hurting it. So that's what this thing is actually for, is that. But each kit comes with these nice, wonderful bendable bent scissors, which you are supposed to use to be able to cut, or to even cut it whenever it's on your toe, to be able to remove the excess along the sides, because you never want it to go all the way to the edge, because the edge peels up as your toenail grows, and that connective tissue, or that connective area, is what gets underneath these and causes more peeling. So you always want to make sure there's a nice good gap. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to take them, cut in a kind of an angle, in a circular way. See how I kind of turn? I turn as I cut, so that I get that nice half circle look whenever I cut them. And you want to cut the wrap as in as much of a half circle as you can, because our toenails are definitely not a half square at the end. All right, so once you get it, you see how I got it kind of like in a half circle? So now here's the important part. When you're done with that, you kind of go off to the side here to the clear area, so that you have that clear area to be able to lift these off. Now, if you were to cut this completely off, you would not be able to peel that thing off very easily. So by cutting it, I've cut all the way to the edge, and then I've cut it like that, so it's hanging on by that clear area. See, So that'll help me be able to peel it off. Okay, I'll show you. Alright, so what we do here, go ahead and take it. Okay, and you'll be able to actually take it like this underneath. And see, you can kind of see that lip I'm holding on to. Now I go ahead and I heat it up until it starts to bend. And then I put my toe over my other toes, because unfortunately for me, my baby toe likes to fold underneath my other toes. So then I go ahead and I place it on. Now this is the hard part, because I'm using one hand to hold the phone, the other one to place it. So once I have it on, I want to push down as hard as I can to make sure that it is all the way on. Now this is the part where you can use this thing again, push down, so that you're not hurting the actual wrap. But of course, like I said before, I'm pretty lazy about it. I use my fingers a lot, more than I should. So you just kind of push down. Okay. And once you have it down, now if it comes over a side too much to where it's gonna get underneath anything, you just take your curved scissors and you just cut off any excess that you don't like. And that makes it to where you don't have to worry about that. Now, if it comes up, all you have to do, again, just like you did your other toe, heat it up while it's still on your toe. I know it's a little warm, so be careful. So, not the easiest toe to do, but as you can see, once you get it to stick, what you do is you take it, hold on to it, because this is a very rough part for you to do, and you file the excess off. Now be careful if you have your other nails already done. As you can see, I'm going very slow because I don't want to get my other nail. And you can take it off. Alright. And press it down a couple times to make sure that it does stay. Now the great thing about doing your toes, when you're done, do not immediately go outside and do gardening without any shoes on. What you want to do is you want to put your socks on so that you can give it enough time to form that adhesion and stay stuck to your toe and not get torn off by something simple. Because these do take a little bit of time to stay stuck to your toes. Fingers are a lot easier because they're a lot broader, they're a lot bigger. Now, as with your kids, if you have to do it this way with your children, their nails might be a bit too small, and you might want to wait before doing more. See how it fits, see how it stays. If it stays and they're not picking at it and taking it off, then go ahead and do more. But do one nail just to test it out with the kids whenever their nails are this tiny. Otherwise, if their nails are big enough for the juniors, then you can just put them on just like you do with your regular nails, and it'll be able to stay pretty well. So at any rate, so as you can see, after you're done sticking it on, waited a little while, seems to stick pretty good. Take your nail file off the excess so it doesn't come up very easily. And there we go, nice and filed. And again, you'll go to the next one, cut the size that you want. It's not very hard, as you can see. The baby toe is actually the most difficult one to do. So if you can get this one down, you can get the rest down real easily.